Vaping-related illnesses across the country are skyrocketing, and now San Diego is among the cities with cases.
Nearly a dozen people are affected here. That announcement comes just after we learned of the first death in the state from vaping. News 8's Amanda Shotsky is live at the health department tonight with officials' message about the dangers of vaping. Amanda?
Well, the health department here in San Diego says the cases that it saw involved severe lung issues. And officials say the real problem is that these devices, these vape pens and e-cigarettes, they contain so many chemicals. It's still unclear what everybody is actually ingesting into their body. That is why the CDC has launched an investigation to find out why so many people are getting sick.
Stop vaping now.
A stern warning from California health officials after the first statewide vaping-related death is reported in Los Angeles.
This is almost becoming a public health crisis, and they have to step in and take action.
And the news is hitting close to home with new numbers showing 11 people treated in San Diego County with severe lung issues related to vaping just within the last 3 months. Those sickened were between 17 and 70 years old. All were hospitalized, but no deaths were reported.
The suddenness of this took everyone by surprise.
Wael Al-Dalami is a professor of public health at UCSD. He's been studying the effects and risks of e-cigarettes since they first came out, promoted as a way to quit smoking.
Yes, it could help some, but it could potentially cause harm to many more.
Health officials have identified 450 possible cases of breathing and lung illnesses in 33 states and 5 deaths likely related to vaping. A study released Friday showed both THC and nicotine products were involved.
Oh my God, all this stuff that I've been doing, like the past 2 years that I thought was completely harmless, has silently been killing me.
The CDC is looking into whether a certain chemical, an oil derived from vitamin E, is involved, but there's no definitive cause for the lung illnesses. Now the agency is urging users to stop until an investigation is complete.
If there's uncertainty, you don't use the product until you're sure it's safe.
And the American Vaping Association has responded, saying that the CDC is creating, quote, anti-vaping hysteria. Now, the major company, Juul, they also responded with a little bit of a different take. They say that they appreciate what the CDC is doing, and they are confident that they will get to the bottom of this issue. Back to you.
All right, Amanda, thanks.